Oh my God. Mm, 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 mm. Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you all are having a great day as we sit here 101 days, 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 50 seconds away from kickoff of the 2025 season. And I need this thing to get here, man. We're going to be burned out. I am getting hit like, literally, I've got an Eagle fan who wakes up in the morning ready for violence at every single day. He wakes up and sends me an email. Like, let me literally read you one of these. Mr. 9-4, because that's Dak Prescott's record against the Eagles. Holmes, you the one that seems scared. You do realize how much you mention the Eagles compared to the rest of the division. You bums are like the Giants. I didn't realize it was this long. You bums are like the Giants level. I mean, shit, they might beat you a game this year. Okay. All right. Got you. Actually, sorry. That was yesterday. Today, Holmes, you might as well make a 9-4 shirt against the Eagles for your beloved Pookie Dak. You tried slipping in some bullshit as usual and failed to acknowledge how many were against backups and bad Eagle teams. But, I mean, you're proving what facts all the time. You ignore them because you can't handle the truth. But lucky for you, they gave us this first game this season, so bitch Scott can't get a phantom injury. At least we know he's going to get his ass beat at least one time this year because he'll be playing. Not getting out of the game, tucking your tail this time for Ascot, Mark. I can't wait to see the meltdowns from you this year, almost as much as I can't wait for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl back to back. Literally, you must dream about me at night. I got Philly 500 who texted me because he did a video today where it's slow. They start OTAs tomorrow, and he's bitch slapping me too. I'm just getting bitch slapped all over the place. And, you know, we've had so many people that have trashed us and told us, you know, George Pickens is not, enough. Jerry Jones is still 1,000 years old. Dak Prescott is like the 17th best quarterback. You know, the list goes on and on. Micah, even though he's got 177 pressures in the last 4 years, which is the most in the NFL, that he's a bum and can't stop the run. That they are literally going balls deep. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, here's where the worm starts to turn. I always tell you there's a cycle, and the cycle is starting earlier. Cowboys stink because they lost in the playoffs. They don't do anything in free agency. Their draft sucks, and they're the worst organization in football. And then by the end of training camp, they're Super Bowl contenders.
All right, and then Mike T, the Dallas Cowboys with that addition, George Pickens, does it make them a playoff team?
Yes, I think they are on the periphery of making the playoffs. Not only Pickens, but they added Javonte Wilkins. They've drafted Tyler Booker. And then on the other side of the ball, they got back a couple of good players this year from injuries. DeMarion Overshone, Trayvon Diggs. I think they've had a sneaky good
They're not getting in until the middle of the season.
I think this team will be much improved. They're not going to be flashy as maybe some of these Cowboy teams have in the past, but I think they're going to be meaningfully better.
Yeah, look, I mean, and they won 7 games last year, playing a lot of their season without their starting quarterback. So they weren't all that for all the talk. Look, the attention the Cowboys get is both a blessing and a curse if you were them. Sometimes we overstate how bad things are when they don't look as good as we want them to. Harry, you're my receiver, so I've asked you to put together a little tape for us. What exactly is the addition of George Pickens going to look like and mean for Dak Prescott in this offense?
Yeah, Greeny. So in this very first play, it's a simple, what we call a 3-step slant. And you're going to see George Pickens win his one-on-one matchup. Does a great job. He's a natural hands catcher, plucks the ball out of the air, but he's not satisfied once he catches the football. Does a great job. 4 defenders right there, but none of them gets him down, and it's off to the races for a touchdown. Now you're going to see this play versus the Washington Commanders. Great job versus man coverage, running a corner route. The quarterback throws it inside, but it doesn't matter because of the body control and the way that George Pickens can twerk his body and still come up with the catch. And last but not least, 3rd and 1 situation, one-on-one on the outside. He's a 1B to CeeDee Lamb's 1A, wins his matchup again, and it's off to the races for a touchdown. This young man is going to be unbelievable for this offense, and also Dak Prescott is going to also take a lot of pressure off of CeeDee Lamb on the opposite side.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. The physical ability, it is equal to just about any player at the position in the entire league. And then let's talk about, let's be real here, okay, Mike T? He's in a contract year. You were a general manager. This is a young man who was playing for a lot of money here. When you were a GM, how much would you take that into account when you were considering making an acquisition?
A big factor, Green. If you go back to those good Jet teams, Antonio Holmes, Braylon Edwards, those were guys that either had 1 or 2 years left on their deal. You're going to get the best of whatever they have. And going back to what Harry said as well, Greeny, George Pickens is going to be a point scorer. It's really hard to double both CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, who's a really good tight end, and George Pickens. So I think he'll have an exceptionally good year and be productive, especially in the red zone. So that would be a good problem for Dallas to have in terms of trying to lock him up for a long-term deal. I think he will be a meaningful addition to their team.
Graziano, I mean, if it is possible that the Dallas Cowboys could fly under the radar, but with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and if this winds up working out as well as it can with Pickens, that could be a pretty lethal combination.
Yeah, look, when Dak Prescott has had fully healthy seasons, the Cowboys have been a playoff team almost every single time. So the fact that he's back matters to a significant degree. It's part of the reason they feel good about bringing in George Pickens, even though there are some questions about him based on his history in Pittsburgh in terms of, being in and out a little bit attention-wise to some details. But he's 24 years old. They think they can get the best out of him. They think their leadership structure with Dak Prescott at the head of it in terms of the locker room is going to help with that. And Mike T talked about all those guys they're getting back on defense. I think you were absolutely right. To win 7 games in a season where your quarterback gets hurt halfway through is not unimpressive. And I think it would be foolish to overlook the Cowboys as a possible contender in the NFC East.
All right, we will roll on here. Always room
as
for
a
football
contender
in the conversation. We'll get back to the basketball as we continue.
Wow. As a contender in the NFC East, I tell you, I don't know what's going on. Eagle fans are going crazy. Commander fans are coming at me. 49er fans, everybody and their sister is coming after me, bro. I don't understand it. I really just don't know. But we're going to be here. We'll be here, and we're going to still be reaping the star. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you at 9 o'clock when it'll be 100 days till kickoff. Peace out.